Zach, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah. I can go back to dreamland, but yeah.
It's early. We're going to be topping the machine off, greasing it up, and getting our game plan today over across the way. And you may hear Zach complain more than once about us not having a bulk tank up here out in the woods.
Well, either that or lift the arms up. That way I can get an actual decent gas can underneath the arms.
Crap, why didn't you just say that? Watch out now, I'm gonna, are we clear?
And we're clear with everything.
Put the fuel cap on and let's check oil though before we start up. I still wanna always check the oil. You check it, I'm gonna go through this inside.
I see you backed into a sand hill.
What's that?
I see you backed into a sand hill.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm working in a lot of sand, that's for sure.
She's good. She's about half on oil. About in between the two dots.
Oh, so we're good. That's exactly where it's supposed to be.
Okay. Yeah, you couldn't do that with any of the other cabs.
We're here, Zach's just coming over to assist in the morning, get the machine fired up, ready to rock and roll, and then he's gonna go build the timber staircase. So that's it. That's what we got for you today. It's gonna be an adventure for sure. Alright guys, welcome to the channel. It's the start of day 2 and we're at Shangri-La Douche, and what we're going to be doing up here is we're going to be clearing woods. We're going to be cutting in a building pad and putting in a new driveway. The existing driveway is basically a bobsled run straight down and then straight up again. Whoever did it didn't have very much creativity when they made this driveway because they just went for the shortest pass possible. Well, you know what? If you don't got good equipment, you just got to get somewhere, boom. That's what you do. But when we've got a pretty steep slope, so you look back here, that's a pretty steep, unusable slope. And you don't want to have a bobsled run driveway. And this is actually the better version. We fixed it last year, some of you guys may remember. But if you're new to the channel, you can go back to that one. I think it was grading a dangerously steep driveway. It was so steep that my uncle couldn't walk up it. He's 70 some years old too though, right? All right, so as we look at this, an S-curve driveway. So I've done this in the past where an S-curve driveway, instead of going straight up and down, you create a nice S-curve, and the longer you make that driveway, then you can create more gradual slopes, right? So you come out to the road where we've got to meet the driveway up, and we're walking up a hill. Now the property that we're working on starts right back where the minivan is, and it ends right up at the top of the hill. The driveway that was installed was put in at the lowest point of the road, down by the minivan. If they'd just done a straight driveway but done it up here, we've got about a 15-foot change in elevation. They would have eliminated a lot of that steep, dangerous driveway just out of that fact alone. And so that's what we're going to be doing. But we started this project yesterday as an experiment, and we're going to continue to do it. And what I mean is, we would typically clear all this brush out, remove everything, set everything to the side, bring in the sand, gravel material, layer it, compact it, but we're not going to be doing that. We've got excessively sandy soils out here. If you look right straight down, that's pure sand. There's no binding agent. I'm squeezing. There's no binding agent. Everything fluffs and moves and rolls and shifts. So we're going to be using the vegetation as our geogrid. What? I would never do this for a customer. I will do this for you. Up north, this is not uncommon. It's called a cord wood construction. Right inside there, we're going to be putting in a building pad, and we're going to be using all of the fill from that building pad to create the road coming in. If you work on a commercial site, a civil engineer will actually design sites. If they've been to Target, Walmart, Kmart, any mart that there is, a civil engineer came in before when it was raw dirt, and they balance the site. They'll either tell you whether they're going to be exporting, importing, or if the site is a balanced site. And when they say a balanced site, that typically will mean that all of the soil, excess soil that's generated from the excavation, can still be utilized on the site. No exportation, no importation is necessary. We're going to be attempting to do the same thing up here. So we're going to cut in our building pad and use all that soil to put in our road structure right in here. The property boundary is all the way up here by this I don't know, the electrical box, but there's our marker right in the woods there. You can see it. So we're going to come in all the way up here instead of all the way down there. We're going to bring that road in right up here, and that simple little change right there is going to have a massive impact on the change in elevation as well. Whew, that was a lot of talking. Well, I think we got a lot of work to do. So we're gonna be coming in right straight through there. This machine we're gonna be using today is we're just gonna be in a skid loader. Nothing, no dozers, no excavators, nothing. A skid loader, jack of all trades, master of a couple. Great machine all around. Could I do better with a dozer? Yeah. Could I do better with an excavator? Yeah. Could I have a dozer, excavator, and a skid loader out here? Yeah, if I was a diva. I say that not being facetious, because once you start to, oh, a dozer could do this and a dozer could do that. Yeah, if you don't have a dozer, you figure out a way to work when you don't have the right equipment. That's the way I grew up. We didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out, as my dad said. What's up, Zach? Are you done? Yeah. It's all greased up?
Everything is greased, all ready to roll.
You got the empty fuel cans?
Yeah, I got the empty fuel cans.
Bring them to Frankie, he'll top them off.
Yeah.
Cool beans. And then make sure you film that stair building. Yep. Zach's going to be over across the way at Shangri-La rebuilding the front staircase while I'm at Shangri-La Douche, building a road and clearing a building pad. All right, see you, Zach. Hey, Zach. Oh, jeez. Oh, mosquitoes are so thick out here. If you inhale, you breathe them in. He'll figure it out what I was going to say next. Anyway, so we've got a big full day, so let's make it happen. And we're going to bring you guys along for the ride. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to day 2. Putting in a building pad and cutting in a new road. Skid loaders, like, it's so early in the morning. I don't want to wake up yet. Keep my booms low. combination of lifting up with the hydraulics, and then once that gets overpowered, I back up. I know it sounds weird. I back up, which helps the machine get a little better, tiny bit of leverage, and then I use the momentum of the machine to go forward again. Just a little combo that makes things happen, I've noticed. Everybody has their own way of doing stuff, you guys. And there ain't no right and there ain't no wrong way unless it ends up with you being upside down in a ditch. Then you could maybe do a better way of working. Hands with neighbors, but it's not nice to look in their bedroom window at night. So they don't have to see what we're doing, and we don't have to see what they're doing. Awesome sauce. Excessive sandy soil, it's easy to get yourself stuck. Sand is a difficult material to work. With those trees, skaters. I'm not removing any of the big canopy trees. All those little tiny brushy ones, they're skeeter nests. Not only do I gotta watch what's in front of my machine, but and just as important when you're in the woods is you gotta watch what's behind you. Little trees. See if we can. Some of this. All right, you guys, I want to jump in here real quick because we got a lot of action coming at you today. A lot of different things happening, but there's something that I do want to tell you about, and that is the channel sponsor. It's Jobber. They've come in as the official sponsor of the channel, and this is really actually important because it helps free my time up so that I can focus on creating content that hopefully helps you guys out. And every month I have a meeting with Jobber and I ask them, well, what kind of content do you want to bring at these guys? And their answer is always the same: whatever you feel is helpful to your audience. And I love the fact that Jobber is a software program, and what they really do is they've created a system that helps the little guys get their foot in the door to compete with the big guys without breaking the budget. I've worked with Jobber in the past, and they're just a really good company, and you can tell that the way they create their software is really designed with the end user in mind. They've got it laid out so they've got different price points for different options that helps different contractors optimize their company, because there's no two companies that are the same, you guys. And Jobber realizes that. So if you get a chance, go over and support the people that help bring this kind of content to you. But let's get right back into today's video. All right, this brings us to today's lesson. When you're an operator, you're always looking at everything around you, everywhere. You're not just running a piece of equipment, you're paying attention to your complete surroundings. You know, the trees, the ground, the subsoil, you're feeling everything. And as you're going back and forth, you're always looking down on the ground. Did you puncture a line? Did you rupture a hose? Because I guarantee if you put enough hours in a machine, you will puncture a line, you will rupture a hose, you will have something blow, you will have something fail, and your clues lie in the ground. Remember when Zach said he didn't use the key to put the gas cap back on? That's because he didn't use the key to put the gas cap back on. And there it is. I didn't lose any fuel. I did not lose any fuel because I would have seen that down there. But I did lose the fuel tank. So we got a lock. We got a lock for that. We got to lock that on. But hey, this gives us a good opportunity to kind of get an overview. Here's our berm. Our property line goes all the way over to there, so we got room to dress this berm up on this side so these guys have something decent to look at. We can take this berm right into there. Our building pad is going to be right there. We're going to be getting that cleared for a yurt. We're going to be putting in a 4-season yurt where my daughter's going to attempt, her and Tarzan, her boyfriend, are going to attempt to live through a Minnesota winter in it. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know how. They both lived off-grid for 4 or 5 years in Hawaii with no electricity, no running water. They just out in the jungle for years. This is not Hawaii. It's not 80 degrees at night here. So I'm actually going to be felling trees, setting them to the side so that they have firewood because the trees need to dry anyway. So we'll be dropping trees. Nothing. There's no resource on this land that will be wasted at all. Not a one. But geez, we can build this privacy berm all the way over here, and this is where we're going to be cutting that road in, right straight down here. And that's going to be nice because we got all this privacy, so you got to come up, you won't be able to see nothing, and you get into the property and then discover it. That's the key. Can you guys see all the skaters? They're hovering. Never been a fan of those cheap plastic locking wheel tabs because they just don't last, especially in construction. Just don't understand people that cheap out. That wasn't even like it was there. Privacy berm or the road can be used for either. This material is fine. Let's see, look above us before we knock it down. No power lines. What are we getting into? That's the question. Just trying to knock some brush down so we can see, is there a big foxhole below us or big washout? a cistern. Did they bury an old power electric box back in the woods and never notified anybody of it? What happened? You know what I mean? So let's open up the view a titch, eh? Alright, this is a much bigger one. I think I'm going to push that one the other way. Because I do know there is an electrical box down there. I don't know. I don't like that one. I'm talking about this big tree in front of me, guys. I think I'm going to build some of the road around it. Get myself comfortable. And then worry about that tree. What I'm actually talking about is get myself comfortable, build everything I need, know what I got for obstructions, not worried about backing into brush, not worried about backing into a hole, not worried about falling down something. So I'm going to leave that tree for a little bit till the time is right. Then I'm going to come in and try to get her pushed down. I don't want to fall on the neighbors. They got a 500-gallon propane tank right over there. There's an electrical box down below the hill. Last thing I want to do is push that tree down on top of any of that. Alright, here's a big dogger. Boy, if I had a set of forks right now, I'd be a happy, happy camper. Got to be careful how you push trees, you guys. Sorry guys, I had to go off camera for a moment. Guys, if you see my fuel tank cap pop off, let me know, will ya? I think I got her locked on, but like I said, they're cheap. Stuff below me. Oh, don't get stuck. All right, you guys, we got to take out. I don't like taking out oak trees. It's not going to go to waste, but it's definitely in the way, and we're going to be using it to heat. The kids are going to need that wood to heat the yurt this winter, so I might as well try to take that out with a live action with this. Cross your fingers for me. Perfect. What are you talking about, Dirt Monkey? How is that perfect? Well, let me show you exactly what I was fandangling at while I was in the planning here of doing this. I got that tree and that tree, and I wanted to go right in between them. Fa-ching! Now I'm not hooked on that tree, and I'm not hooked on that tree, and I'm totally on the ground, which is where I want it. No Widowmaker. I gotta take that one out yet, and a few others, but let's see what we can do with this son of a duck first. That's gonna be a challenge for this little machine. I got 74 horsepower and a big wad of dirt and a big oak to try to move with 74 horsepower. Let's just see how this goes. All right, let's see if we can't move that big tree. Step one to moving this tree is to lighten the load. That means I'm going to be knocking as much dirt off from the root ball as I can. sand also means that the ground is constantly shifting and moving underneath me. So anytime that I spin my tracks, I've automatically created a rut that needs to be fixed. Root ball getting lighter, the next thing I want to do is try to grab what's remaining of that root and pull the tree out of my work zone. Some guys may tell you to go ahead and wrap a chain around it or cut it up and block it with a chainsaw. I don't have either of those things out in the woods with me today, but I do have a skid loader and I do have a bucket and I do have a will to get this thing moved and out of my way. Okay, so we're trying to get this big old tree to go from there to over there, where we got our other big old tree, so that we can cut them up together. It's a little more difficult to get a good bite on that root ball, to get it to grab and to drag that way. And you might be tempted to go to the top of the tree and just to push it where it needs to go. But when you go to the top of the tree, you have a pretty good chance of the possibility of getting speared by the tree. When you're dragging a tree, you don't have much chance of getting speared. But when you're pushing a tree from the top, if anything snaps or the tree pops out of the bucket, it will go directly into the cab. By grabbing the root ball, I avoid all of that. Some trees move easy, but some fight you all the way. And the bigger the tree, the bigger the fight in them. And this oak tree was about as much as this little tiny machine could possibly handle all at once. The tree was finally far enough outside of my work zone that I felt like I could take a break from wrestling with it and get back to moving some dirt. And then when I felt like it, I could go back and get it moved to its final resting place, ready to be cut up for firewood. notice is that a lot of times I may fill that bucket up and then just put it flat on the ground and scrape it all the way while I'm moving dirt. It basically turns a skid loader into a dozer at that point. And that's compacting the ground and leveling the ground underneath me and before me as my machine moves forward. Instead of lifting it up and carrying the soil, I'm actually getting extra capacity because I'm picking up whatever I can push in front of the machine as well as carry in the bucket at the same time. Sorry for the bumpy ride. Not a lot of suspension in these tracked loaders. All right, we got another big tree. Well, it's not big, but we got a tree. We got another tree to take down. Don't get in the way. Try not to get hit. Wonder why I put my hood up in the middle of the day. It's because the skeeters are so bad. All right. I'm gonna jump in here because that's going to call it for today, but not for this job site. Right now we're about 6 hours into this project. We've got a large lion's share of the building pad installed. We've got the driveway starting to come together so we can see it, but we still got about 6 hours of daylight left. And so in the very next video coming out, we are going to wrap this job up. We're going to complete the driveway. We're going to get the building pad cut in, and then we're going to get it rain ready. And that's all we got for you on this one. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and tell me if you like longer videos. I'd love to know. I mean, these are some long videos we're putting out for you guys. One of the things personally I like is it just feels like you can kind of just get into it. You can be there in that moment and you're not rushed. And I love that feeling. And it just helps me to also, if I know you like longer videos, it just helps me to know if you like that kind of a scenario. But what is the perfect length for a video? Like if you could have a content creator create any length video, what would it be? Let me know in the comments down below. God bless. Go get them, you guys. We'll see you on the next one.